Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about a very powerful message, a very powerful truth contained within Lovecraft country that Democrats need to hear and apply because they're behind Republicans. So let's talk about it. All right. So first of all, why do Democrats need to go find lessons in Lovecraft country? Well, Lovecraft country, one, it has an asterisk on it. I've already talked about that in a previous video. Remember that asterisk is there. If you haven't heard that one, go listen to my last video on Lovecraft country. Many thanks. I try not to bury content in other videos, but I don't want to repeat myself a lot in several videos. All right, so Lovecraft country is a brilliant narrative story, and it really contains many life truths that I think people have forgotten. And one of the things that's happening right now is the Democrats need to really recognize, like, they are in a terrible place right now. Their candidate is horrible. An opponent, Donald Trump, who they say is an idiot and a moron constantly, who they say has no talent and is absolute monster, is absolutely decimating him. He beats them left and right. He outmaneuvers them politically. He slips and jabs. He slips every single jab they throw at him. He is owning them. Like the conservatives have this term, owning the libs, and he truly does. He owns the libs, right? He has absolutely dominated the media, which is mostly liberal, and he has outmaneuvered the Democrats at virtually every single turn, right? And so when you're getting beat, you have to say, I'm beaten, right? Like, my opponent is destroying me. I have got to change. And the Democrats have to change. They have to change. If they're going to win, they have to change. One, they need to figure out which banners they need to drop on the ground, right? And I'm not saying which one. I'll just tell you some of the banners, right? Immigration, healthcare, feminism, right? What are some of the other UBI is absolutely a banner, right? Free everything, right? It's a major, free education, free healthcare, free preschool, forgiveness for debts that for schooling you've already gotten, right? Like, there's just a ton of banners, and there's a few other banners I'm not even going to mention, right? But they're in the pile. Like, you got to figure out some of these banners are costing you more than they're gaining, right? You got to figure out which banners to drop on the ground and which banners to make more of and which banners to carry forward. But the Democrat Party absolutely 420, another banner they carry that I think gives them virtually no push, right? It certainly gave Andrew Yang no push. Like, he was very pro 420, and it didn't help him, right? It didn't get him where he wanted to be. And the reason why is the 420 voters didn't show, right? And they were probably hungry. Right? So it's an issue. It is a serious issue, right? So what is the major message? What is the truth that Lovecraft country contains that these Democrats need to seriously put into effect? But here it is. It's an incredibly powerful lesson. Lovecraft country is a story of heroes, black heroes, okay, but hero for the purposes of this discussion, just heroes, right? Heroes whose real power and whose ability to defeat monsters comes from literary knowledge, okay? Literary prowess comes specifically from literary prowess. The ability to read books, the ability to analyze books, the ability to take knowledge out of books, the ability to apply the knowledge, this obscure knowledge that has come from reading hundreds, if not well over 1,000 books by a single person, right? And apply that to life is really critically important, right? The concept of the show Lovecraft Country is saying something that I have never seen in any show, not on PBS, aimed at a 4-year-old, right? It is saying, if you read books like crazy, pay hyper close attention, right? And then attempt to leverage that knowledge, you can defeat monsters. Boy, is that a lesson the Democrats need to learn, right? They got a monster they want to defeat, right? It's very clear. They got their own Cthulhu monster that they need to defeat, right? Well, how are they going to do it? Well, the show Lovecraft Country is saying, if you really want to defeat monsters, you better be reading books. You better be taking very close notes, you better be paying attention, and you better be ready to leverage knowledge that you pulled out of the ether from these, that you pulled out from these incredibly obscure areas of deep old books, right? And that really the most powerful force in this world today for defeating monsters is knowledge that comes out of books. Not knowledge told to you by your friend, not knowledge found on a website, not knowledge not some little life hack you found somewhere or that you found. It is the real work of doing real reading and taking real notes and becoming a real scholar and a real researcher, right? And a real literary powerhouse, right? You need to have literary prowess. And guess what? Not just one, but a bunch of them, right? If the Democrats are going to win, they need tons and tons and tons of literary powerhouses. People who can write, people who can read, people who can analyze, and people who can leverage what they've read and what they've analyzed to bring the right literary weapons, right, to bear at the exact right time, right? And guess what? Republicans know this. They got a ton of people reading books and gaining knowledge, right? And I think on the Democrat side, we don't have it. We just don't respect literary prowess the way the Republicans do. That's going to need to change. That's my opinion. What do you think? Do you think literary prowess can convert into the ability to defeat monsters? Lovecraft Country says it's so. I think I agree with that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.